Good morning, pregame crew. It is Thursday, May 26, 2022, 8:22 a.m. Eastern, 6:22 a.m. Mountain Time. You are at the pregame show. This is a show about the stock market, crypto, commodities, and then we look at a few names that are setting up on the day for potential trades and try to get you ready for the trading day. If you are tuning in later, you may want to fast forward to this says 6:30 down here on the right. In the interim, I'm going to do some housekeeping, let people trickle in the room. I'll do a few chart requests. Audio visual check, please. Hi, Anu, Wave, Markle, Mark, Peanuts, Jorge. Hey, Matthew, I'll try to get back to your question. Me, myself, and I. Hey, Keggers, Amira, Aisha, Lisa, Empowered, Judd, thank you for being here. Mal, you're funny. Hey, Matthew, Rosemary, Topher, Night Truck, Greg. Good morning. Hey, Casey. How are you? Perfect Wave. Thank you. Matthew wants to look at Bitcoin. If you were to enter Bitcoin now for a break at the tightening range, how tight would you set your stop or a normal position size? So 28600, that is the level. At this point, 28600. So I would put my stop slightly below that, maybe 28589. Or you could just put it at the low of this current action, which is 28843. So maybe 28800, for example. So if you're looking at Bitcoin to finally be a laggard to NASDAQ and ES versus being the canary, because now Bitcoin is definitely weaker. We have decoupled with the market. Something that is definitely notable now so the question is it a canary? Is it telling us there's incoming consolidation if NASDAQ doesn't break over this key resistance level? Or is it just having some laggard price action and it'll catch up with NASDAQ later, or maybe it won't? Hey, my cub, AR. Yeah, hit the like button. Thanks, Casey. Hey, Cbro, Alina, Roger, Korkuki. Thank you. Good morning. Now I'll take a few chart requests before I get started with the agenda. And the general agenda, if this is your first time, is I go through about 25 charts in 25 minutes. And my goal is to be efficient as possible, yet being thorough with levels and giving you a technical analysis perspective. And of course, as soon as I turn off my mic, new data enters the market and things could change. So we have to keep that in mind. Yeah, Costco is reporting today. Matthew, I'm not looking for that specifically for Bitcoin to get a support break with no follow through. I'm not looking for that. I don't have a bent on what Bitcoin's going to do. It's just weaker and Ethereum is leading it to the downside. So in this situation, is Ethereum giving you a heads up for Bitcoin potentially lower levels? So Costco. So of course, earnings are a binary event. It's either good or bad. It's a binary event. Have bad things been priced in? Have good things been priced in? We don't know. So I would have to spend probably 20 hours doing fundamental analysis on Costco to tell you, looking at their store traffic, looking at all the data that's been published since their last earnings and what they guided, and compare it to Walmart and maybe what was Walmart's Sam's Club component. You would have to do a lot of fundamental digging to figure out what Costco could potentially project. And then you still don't know what their guidance is going to be, which is more important. So all I can give you is technical analysis. And this looks like a daily bear flag. They got taken down last week on less than stellar earnings on Target and Walmart. This actually looks like a broadening wedge forming. And if you're not familiar with the broadening wedge formation, think of a megaphone, a cheerleader's megaphone. You get this high, low, higher high, no follow through, lower low. Now, are we going to get follow through or is it all going to collapse? I don't know. Again, potential daily bear flag. 4 hour looks really healthy, uptrend. And hourly looks healthy. No problems yet. Yeah, RDBX is definitely moving, but it is also getting pumped by a lot of the Twitter furus. And so just be cautious because when they're pumping, they're not buying when they say they buy. They're selling to you. So just remember that. Yeah, RDBX Redbox is definitely been a runner. 717 is the resistance that we need to get over during regular trading hours. then 775. Hey, King Man. Hey, Bobby. Jacob. Hey, Mary. Dan. King Man, you're new to trading, and I wonder if you're trading Forex. A lot of newer traders start with Forex because the Forex traders, they are so good at advertising and getting these little pyramid schemes going. It's just one section of the market that's just not as straightforward sometimes, and it's sometimes a wolf in sheep's clothing, and I'll just leave that there. So just please be careful with Forex trading if that's what you're doing. Daily inside bar on the euro compared to the Australian dollar. 4-hour EQ, 4-hour equilibrium. High 151.988, low 150, lower high 151, higher low 150.772. So we're just tightening up in this 4-hour as we hold 50 RSI. So it looks somewhat bullish here on euro Australian dollar. Hey Neil, good morning. Hey Derek. Good morning, BB. Good morning, Colby. I have time for one more request. Oh, okay, you're trading with news, but yes, you are. All right. Just be careful. Someone called me Mama Bear earlier, so if this is your first show, you'll know that I'm very protective of newer traders or inconsistently profitable traders. I have a bleeding heart because I was one of those for a while. So it took me 3 months after I started trading to find chart guys, so I was pretty lucky. Hourly inside bars, by the way, which means tightening ranges. These yellow candles are just inside bars. If you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description and you can receive a PDF explanation of what my chart setup is. Okay, one more and this is it. TRX USDT, and then I'm gonna get started. Daily uptrend has room for a weekly higher high. 4-hour gave back. Whoa. Okay, GDP numbers are in. GDP numbers are in. We have a slight bearish reaction, to just be aware of that. This is the gross domestic product for the first quarter of this year. I will post the data if I can do it quickly. They were looking for negative 1.3 and we got negative 1.5. Not a big miss. Thank you. Okay, we had our Thursday jobless claims, and it looks like the GDP numbers impacting the market. Hey, how are you? Okay, so we have a 4-hour downtrend. Whomever asked me about this, we have a 4-hour downtrend. So it could be head and shoulders, but we've already broken to a lower low, so be careful. Hourly downtrend, potential hourly bear flag. All right, let's get started with the indices. Good morning. I'm Chart Gal Lori. This is who I am. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, at Chart Gal Lori. You can check us out at chartguys.com. Oh man, I don't have the tour set up. So today at 4:30 Eastern, Dan is going to take you on a walk behind the curtains of what it is like to be a part of TCG. And he tweets a lot, huh? So this is who Dan is. And there's me right there, and there's my husband right there. That was our trip to Mexico, and we're going to do a trip to Asheville, North Carolina to hang out with fellow traders this year. So if you want to see what it's like to be a TCG member, you can join us at 4:30 today, and Dan will take you a walk on what our platform looks like, our website, look at our Slack channels, testimonials, and you'll get a discount code for the first month membership. I'm going to put this in the room, chat room. All right. So what I do here every day is I go over indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day, and I type my notes. Okay, now we're rebounding from that GDP reaction. We're rebounding. I have notes and I copy and paste these as soon as I'm done, and I put them in the Chart Guys chat room so our members can slice and dice them as they see fit. Again, if you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description to receive a PDF explanation. So I'm going to get started with the indices so you can have the levels, and then I'll go back to my thoughts for the day or just overall trading tips or trading analogies. So on ES, I'm aware these 4-hour higher highs are not getting a lot of follow through. So I'm going to be cognizant and aware of a potential rising wedge. But, and I apologize, I was really aggressive with setting my alerts. So you see all those orange lines? Those are my alerts. And that's how I primarily trade futures, is when I see an alert, and if it matches up with the market internals, with VIX, then I will take the trade. So on ES, if we look at the daily, I want you to see here, we got a lower high, higher low, higher high. Then yesterday we broke over Tuesday's high. I wanted to show you the SPX because it has no alert set, and I wanted to show you a little clearer, but it reminded once again why I like futures over CFDs. SPX 500 USD follows US futures, ES futures, but not exactly. So we don't show that clear pivot higher low, higher high on SPX 500 USD. So something to be aware of. So again, excuse the busyness. We have not gotten that higher high on NASDAQ. And yesterday we couldn't get over Tuesday's high. We finished with an inside bar. What's the problem? What's the holdup? Apple. Apple is the holdup. So I've been showing you this 4-hour downtrend line that Apple has been unable to get over since May 11th, and we still haven't closed over it. We need to get over Tuesday's high, 141.97. I'm just going to call it 142. 142. We need to get over that level to get over this trend line and for the market to get going. So why do I always bring up Apple? Always. Market cap. So the market capitalization is basically the stock price times the total available shares in circulation, or total shares in circulation. So look down here, please. So you see my arrow kind of going crazy. Actually, I'm going to expand this so you can really focus in. You see my arrow going crazy over here? The current market cap of Apple is $2.274 trillion. Okay? So Apple is equal to the entire Russell, IWM, RTY. The entire Russell market cap is approximately $2 trillion. Apple is bigger than that. That shows you how important Apple is. Now let me show you another reason why is Apple more important than Bitcoin. If you look at the total market cap, so total in trading view is the total crypto market cap. Look at it. Where are we? We're at 1.195 trillion. This isn't Bitcoin, the entire crypto market cap, we have $1.2 trillion floating out in crypto land right now. Apple's total market cap, 2.27 trillion, twice that of crypto. That's why Apple is so important. So that's why I have an alert here. I need Apple to get over 142 to feel good about any potential follow through. Then QQQ could most likely break Tuesday's high. NASDAQ can break Tuesday's high. If Apple can break Tuesday's high. And it's absolutely the most important chart we got out there. And that's why we are constantly at TCG. We talk about the generals and who's the most important. That's why Apple is important. All right. So ES. We have an uptrend. We're going to be cautious of a potential rising wedge, but we're not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. We do have an ES daily trend change, but on the weekly, we're still looking for a lower high compared to 46.31. So the bulls can do the razzle dazzle, disco, Saturday night fever, footloose, whatever, all the way up here. Odds favor lower high compared to 2631. The Bears will be playing defense. Depends on where they step in and how much pressure via volume that ES Bulls can put on the Bears. And so, by the way, I go about 25 minutes. And my reason for limiting it to 25 minutes is because we have a live show that starts at 9 a.m. Eastern or 7 a.m. Mountain Time. In our chat room today, Chart Gal Denzi will be going live. We have 3 live streams per day inside the room. We have my live stream outside the room. And then we have a TA, technical analysis, question and answer Zoom call with our members twice a week. So we have lots of interaction, and that's why I stop after about 25 minutes. So NASDAQ is the chink in the chain. We got to get over 12036, the chink in the knight's armor. Is that what it's called? So we have I can't even do that with this clear. I was going to say inverse head and shoulders. That's too messy. Look at the 6 hour. Yeah, too messy. We need to get over 12100. We got to get over 12100, or we are just going to continue to expect to slam into these walls. RTY is looking better on the hourly. And I wanted to show you one more thing. So I talk about the Great Wall of Louisiana, Great Wall of China. I make that joke almost daily, and I'm sure it's getting old. The yellow line is the 50 simple moving averages. A lot of algos are built around the 50 simple moving average, and you'll find that chart after chart after chart. So on the hourly, I like to see where price is relative to hourly 50 MA. And if we flip through right here, so focus, I'm just going to focus on the yellow line, okay? So RTY on the hourly is well above it. Got it? YM, well above it. ES, well above it. NASDAQ, well above it. So we're above the hourly 50 MA. That makes me more bullish. Now, I know overhead, that weekly lower high is still out there. Overhead. Okay. Sorry, I thought someone was spamming with that long post. So we have that weekly resistance overhead. I know that, but we're below the hourly 50 MA. So typically once you get above the hourly 50 MA, if you come back and retest it, it's typically a good place for entry. Now let's see why that differs from the 4 hour. Now let's look at our Fab 4 indices. Again, I'm focused on the yellow line, all right? Where's the yellow line with ES, the 50 MA? We're above it on ES, okay? Check. RTY, we're well above it, check. YM, we're well above it, check. NASDAQ, we're below it. And that matches up with 12030, which matches up with 12036 resistance. So I'm saying we've achieved the hourly 50 MA hurdle. Next hurdle to jump over is the 4 hour 50 MA on NASDAQ. Now, if that's just too much data for you, keep it simple. QQQ needs to get over Tuesday's high. And that high is 29387, and just make it 294 for simplicity. QQQ needs to get over 294, and Apple needs to get over 142. And then this party could get started for the bulls, and you will immediately put some bears underwater, and then we can get that pressure for upward momentum. One more thing on daily EMA. Speaking of that technical analysis question and answer session that we have twice a week, I jumped on the Zoom call yesterday with traders, and they were like, Lori, what are you looking at? And I was pointing out this bullish divergence we had on ES, and then I was pointing out with VIX. Here, we were on the call yesterday, right here. And I told them with this tightness in VIX and with the bull divergence on ES, it had me leaning bear break VIX, bull break SPY. And if you were on that call yesterday, if you want to put in the chat that that's exactly what I said, that's what I was looking for. Does it always work out? Heck no. Heck no. It's kind of like my first and second marriages. Things fall apart. But it was a great heads up and canary for the market. So now we're testing this ever important 2806. Now we've broken it by 4 cents, but we haven't gotten a lot of follow through yet. I want you to look at how tight we are on the weekly, on VIX, and look at this squeeze. Look at the squeeze down here. Look at the daily. Things are getting tight here, and we're breaking this 2806, but the bears, VIX bears want to see more follow through, and market bulls want to see more follow through. If we can break $28 here with a little more oomph, I would feel better about the market today as a bull. So then the daily has an EQ. Then the 4 hour had an EQ. Then the hourly had an EQ. And then the 30-minute got this tight. And this was my signal, go long yesterday, go long. Now, NVIDIA almost broke up the party yesterday after hours with a slight earnings beat. And then they did a $15 billion buyback, which is really good. But they guided down ever so slightly. And they factored in Ukraine and China COVID with their $500 million less than expected income on this last quarter. So I thought it was decent. And I actually said in the chat room, I thought that the reaction would soften up a little bit given that $15 billion buyback, and it did. So I don't know that I've given you key levels. So let me go do that real quick. Or maybe I did. I just want you to remember these levels over here, 4043, 4042. That was an area of congestion on SPY, on ES prior. So don't forget those levels. NASDAQ, we know what it is, 12100. RTY, your resistance is up at 1841. YM, your resistance is up at 32692. VIX, we got to break 2802 with more flare. More Ric Flair. Yeah, hit the like button, please. So Bitcoin is coming down and testing this 28,611. Or if we look at the same level from May 24th at 6 a.m., May 24th at 6 a.m., Bitcoin's holding it. Ethereum lost it. So the question is Bitcoin going to follow Ethereum to downside? Or can Bitcoin's hold of the 28,600 pull the Ethereum bulls back up? That remains to be seen. So on Bitcoin, on a bounce, a 4-hour lower high is expected. On Ethereum, on a bounce, a 4-hour lower high is expected. Now, if the market could get through 12100, it could behoove the Bitcoin and Ethereum bulls if the market could start picking up some slack here. Okay, let's look at gold. So gold, we were losing the 4-hour uptrend. Actually, we had already lost it. Yeah, we had already lost it. We're just getting another 4-hour low or a low. So let me back up. Monthly uptrend, weekly downtrend. On a bounce, we're looking for a weekly low or high. And that is the most important look on gold, is weekly low or high. Daily, we have an uptrend. 4-hour, we broke bear out of that rising wedge and we're still in a downtrend. Hourly, we're still in a downtrend. And 15-minute, this could be an inverse head and shoulders to be aware of. Let me see what Dixie's doing. Dixie weakness, gold has not seized the opportunity with Dixie weakness overnight again. So that is a little more bearish overhang for gold. Oil's getting tight. So yesterday, I came before you to stand behind you and tell you something I know nothing about. It's just a joke. What do you call those, limericks or whatever? But yesterday I was talking to you about this rising wedge and I was short and it broke bear. We're doing it again. The nat gas bulls has me a little bit hesitant on my oil short thesis, but I'm still looking oil short against 112. And we're in a daily EQ, and I'm looking for this weekly potential higher high to be set. I want to break through the low of 103.24. Nat gas bulls are large and in charge. Weekly bull flag confirmed. We got an upper wick of profit taking yesterday, which isn't a good look for the bulls, but they'll take it. Currently inside that daily inside bar with a key support of 885. And hourly, we're changing the trend back to upside. We have nat gas inventory today at 10:30 a.m. Okay, let's look at our queen of the mountains. So the 4-hour downtrend line is super important. 142 is the level. Get over it, bulls. Get over it. If we can get over 142 Apple, then the probability increases that QQQ will get over 294 and NASDAQ will get over 12100. BKSY. I posted this EQ in chat yesterday and our man John's charts was able to kill it. Absolutely kill it. So if you go from the low of yesterday to the high, I just did a fib pull. Bulls want to see this over 228 to keep a bull flag alive on BKSY. They get some type of $1 billion deal in conjunction with MAXR, and that's a TSX name, which also trades in the US. So BKSY, $1 billion contract yesterday, hence the crazy bull move of over 100% at one point. So if you're a ninja, you can look for tightening ranges. LCID, they had a recall yesterday. I was looking bearish. But now I've changed my tune today because now we have a potential daily inverse head and shoulders shaping up. And it reminds me a lot of NEO, which Dan brought to my attention. So NEO has a potential inverse head and shoulders looking for the daily higher low. So LCID scouting a daily higher low and a potential daily inverse head and shoulders compared to 1694. NEO looking for the right shoulder and a daily inverse head and shoulders looking for an hourly higher low compared to 1426. And can y'all slow the speed down if you want to? I always speed people up, but if I'm going too fast, I hope you can slow the speed down. So Netflix is stronger than most. Dan's been calling this one out, and it's a good call out. That the bulls keep holding up better than other names. I would be looking for an hourly higher low compared to 18425. We went over NEO, NVIDIA. I'll try to get back to you, Wave. I always like to answer my mods questions, so I'll try to get back to you. NVIDIA, the high of the reaction to the low. We got stopped right here at the 0.618 retrace. So I have it pulled up over here because I just want to get some type of context for the market. If NVIDIA is bouncing pretty good, that could bode well for the market. But I am very hesitant to trade in ranges like this because that means an inside bar, and that means erratic trading, probing of liquidity to the upside downside, bangarang, drunk girl walking home from the bar in heels. Whatever analogy you want to use, it's just very erratic. So I know that, but I'm still keeping up NVIDIA to just kind of do a check for market sentiment because that's a big market mover and a market general. So if it's pulling up, that could be a good tailwind for market and vice versa. SMH, I drew this for you yesterday, daily inverse head and shoulders, and I had a question mark here saying NVIDIA earnings would most likely dictate the direction of this potential inverse head and shoulders. So I like a bottom fish of 224. No, not 224. Yep, 224. I like a bottom fish of 224.14 for a potential higher low in this daily inverse head and shoulders. And I do that through a higher, riskier instrument, XOXL. And SOXL is a 3 times bull ETF for SOXX or the semis. So I'm looking for a pullback on semis to buy. Twitter. So Elon pot. That doesn't mean, from my understanding, that he's adding to his offer and making an offer higher than $54.20. He is bringing more equity to the table instead of debt. So 38.69 keeps a bull flag alive from the high to the low of that reaction. Again, bulls want to see that over 38.69. And then if it's over 38.69, 38.50, then I'm willing to play long versus NVIDIA, which is down in this area on its fib retracement and could just bangarang bounce inside that range for a while. I'm bullish Twitter. XBI bearish. Looking for a top fish against 68.46 bearish on XBI. So that's my top fish setup. So Wade wants to know what are your thoughts? You need a level. You need a level. You just don't have, we're gapping up above yesterday's high. And I'm great with shorting a gap up if we have a level. I just don't see one. So I would have to wait for this to play out and get a lower high to top fish and wait for any type of move to the downside. I would have to wait for 15 minutes. So I guess the rule of thumb is if I have a level from prior price history to short, I can look to short at open. If I have no level, in the absence of levels, then I have to wait for one to form. Then I'll wait for a tightening range and then position myself within it. You're welcome. He is not using Tesla shares. No, he is not. He is not pledging Tesla shares to my knowledge. But I mean, please feel free to look at that on your own. Baba had earnings. They had a positive reactions to earnings. They're up 5%. So NEO could benefit positively from that, another China name. We're resisting up here at 8747 at 8774 resistance. I had a great bank robbing analogy I wanted to go over. Y'all want to hear it? First 3 yeses, I'll go over the bank analogy. If not, I'll wrap it up. I have no idea what any stock price, where they're going. I don't make predictions like that. It does look bullish. Yes. So the high of yesterday was 84.07. So just keep that in mind right here. 84.07 in that area. So pull back to that area, yesterday's high. I got 2 yeses. Yesterday's high could act as support. Okay, 3 yeses. I'm going to do it. Okay, y'all ready? When I first started trading, I traded with this guy, and he said that trading is like robbing a bank. We plan the heist and we rob the market. And I thought that was so fascinating because I have two favorite analogies for trading. Baking, like baking a recipe and putting it in there, taking it out at the right time. But my absolute favorite analogy of trading is like robbing a bank. You got to sit down and plan the heist. Do you just walk into Bank of America and say, I want the money today. I have a plastic knife in my pocket and I shall just take money? No. And a lot of y'all trade like that. Y'all just walk into the bank. Y'all got nothing. Y'all got nothing, honey, but maybe key in your pocket that you're pretending like is a weapon, which Lord forbid any of y'all do that. But you need to have a plan. So just think about this robber's in his van and he's got a lookout man. He's got a what do you call that? A driver. He's got all the different pieces and he's got a map of the bank. Okay, this is where the vault is located. Here's the code for the vault. Here's the time that the guard walks away from the vault. Here's the combination code. Here is what I'm expecting to be in there. They took a delivery yesterday of $1 million. And so they always put it in their safe. Okay, the big strong man Rob that's 7 foot tall, he's off today. So you keep planning. Now, do you think these people that plan to rob a bank, they go in there and grab $1 off the safe shelf and run out and expose themselves to all of that risk for $1? Well, that's how some of y'all trade. You risk your life in prison. We're still staying with a bank robbery, so stay with me, analogy. You risk your life in prison getting shot to death for $1. Well, some of you risk your entire livelihood, you risk your entire capital to enter a trade. And those of you who aren't U.S. citizens, you pay $10, $20, $30 to enter such trade. You run in, you grab $1, and you run out. So that's how trading is like robbing a bank. You have to plan your exit and you say, okay, this is where I'm going to enter. I'm going to enter on the west side of the bank. I'm going to run in and I'm going to go get the money. I'm going to enter on the northeast corner. And my getaway driver is going to be waiting for me at the northeast corner at 3:07 p.m. Now, if you go in there to that safe and you start stealing money and you try to load up every bag that you could buy in Walmart with that money, you're going to get caught. Because pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. So I'm not saying get in a trade and try to get every last dime that's in there, but you got to get enough meat on the bone to make the risk worth it. And of course, I'm going to sneeze right in the middle of my analogy. So that is my analogy of how is trading like robbing a bank. Map everything out. Do your risk to reward calculations. Figure out points of entry. Figure out points of exit. Ensure there's money in the safe before exposing yourself. Don't trade in the hole. Names that have no meat left on the bone. Have precautions set up. You have a lookout. You have your getaway driver. Your stop losses, your correlation warnings. And you don't run in and expose yourself for $1 profit. And you sure don't run in and expose yourself for $1 million profit in quotation marks that you never get because you get caught. Okay, that's at the end of that analogy. I did not even look at y'all's chat because I knew it would get me kind of crazy, get me sidetracked. So I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here, supporting me, supporting the Chart Guys. Give me a lookout or a follow on Chart Guys. Give Dan a lookout on Chart Guys live membership tour today at 4:30 Eastern. The link is in chat. And hit the like button before you exit the door. All right? Use stop losses.